Hello friends, in this video tutorial we will see that how we can use the colon operator in Python using with data frames. So with data frames and we can use the colon operator, and it will be really helpful to view the your data sets with some specific rows and columns. So the colon operator, which is um used to slice or cut the data sets in a way uh, in which you want to view your data. So for that I have one data set that I have already downloaded it, or I have already created it and stored in df, which is data frame. So let's execute it this. So I have this data set which is which have two columns, class and count, and five rows. So I want to view just first uh, five rows. Okay, five rows. So you have, in all you have five rows, but there is a we can access these five rows using this colon operator, right? So we have this colon operator, right? So it's starting from 0 to 4, right? So if I look these indexes, so this index is 0. So 0 means your starting point. So at the first on the left hand side of this operator, colon operator, you have to write your starting point, and on the right hand side you have to write the your uh, last point, or where till which location you want to access or view your data. So let's say uh, I want to access five rows, or I want to print the five rows. So starting is 0 and then the last is 5, right? Last is 5. But in our case we don't have these means if you run this, let's take a look at how the output will look like, because I have written 5 here. So because the index is still 4, so because the last point is 5, and it will print you the first 5 rows, because it goes from 0 to 5 minus 1, means till 4, right? Till 4. So that's why is printing, or is the output is from 0 1 2 3 4. So that means in all 5 rows. So you can do it uh, with the head function, that are inbuilt function that you can use uh, with the data frame or with the pandas. So we have this, right? So this is the head. So when you use head, it means the first 5. It will retrieve the first 5 rows of your data. And on the other hand, we have one like df dot tail, right? So it will give you the last 5 rows. So because we don't have the data set having more than 5 rows, so it will, the output will be the same, because it is because there are 5 rows only. So we have the output like head will return the first 5 rows and tail will return the last 5 rows of your data sets. So you can do that using the colon operator, or if you want 5 rows, last 5 rows, or first 5 rows, you can use tail and head respectively. and then you can experiment with that. Okay, some with colon operator, like if I want some first two rows, so I will 0 colon 1, so I will write this, so 0 2, because it goes from 0 to 2 minus 1 means 0 to 1, so it will retrieve you the two rows 0 and 1, and you can see here that the output is 0 and 0 at 0 index, and at 1 index the both rows will be retrieved, right? So in that way you can use the colon operator to access the part of, or to access just a slice of your data set. Okay, now there is another interesting options that comes with the pandas, and you can transpose your data frame. You can transpose your data frame. So you have the data frame, right? You have data frame like this is your data frame, and you want to transpose it. Transpose means the rows and columns will be reversed, right? Will be exchanged. So now what we have to do, you just declare a variable, right? Transpose, you can name it any variable name, okay, any valid variable name. So just you need to df dot, okay, and you will see that there is a t, there is t. So now this is the t, and if you want to read this that what is does, you can click on here, otherwise you can, it is already like t for transpose, okay. So df dot t will exchange the rows and columns, and the rows will become the columns, and columns will become the rows. So how you will know that it has been reversed or not? So just print the transpose, which is a variable having the transpose of our data frame, right? So if you click on it, you will see that now the rows has become the columns, and columns has become the rows. So in that way you can use it. So is as per your requirement, when you have that scenario in which you have to reverse your data, you have to exchange the rows and columns, so you can do that using this transpose transpose function like df.t, or okay. So now access the indexes, okay. You can access the index of your data frame. You can do that just using your like df.index. Df.index will print all the indexes of your data set, okay. So it is saying that it start at 0 and stop at 5 and step 1. So this, okay, df.index. So here it is like df okay. So it's saying that its index is 0, and it will go from 0 to 5 and a step function of 1. So here we have a interesting tutorial, okay. On that you will find all the functions related to pandas and how it works. You can also access this tutorial, and it's a very good tutorial, and you find that it's a very good tutorial, and you will learn the pandas in a step-by-step function, in a step-by-step way, right? So this is all about today's session that I have. If I summarize my work today, that I have used three things. That I have used slice, and then I did the transpose head and tail functions, and then